It has been a tough year, no doubt about that, filled with difficult news. But tonight we've got a good news story that's coming out of the pandemic. A small mid-state business wanted to do something big for its employees as a thank you for all of their hard work this year. And that something turned out to be $1 million in raises.
Rackley Roofing has 200 employees. You may not see them on the roof, but you've seen some of the roofs they're responsible for repairing and installing. It's a kind of who's who of Nashville buildings. A Rackley tradition is to have company executives deliver hams to workers on job sites before Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
A token of appreciation.
Thank you, guys.
For men and women who work hard under a variety of conditions. There's also a big reason the hams are delivered, not picked up. And it's not because it's easy.
There you go, sir. You're welcome.
Rackley has many two-person service crews, and the company has offices in every major metropolitan area in Tennessee. It takes 2 full days to deliver the hams.
We're all equals. There's nobody that's better than somebody else at our company, and so why shouldn't the COO be delivering to a job site? You know, it's who we are as a company. It's our culture.
But that's not the big news. The big news at Rackley is that company president Curtis Sutton has given employees a rare triple raise. 5% raises across the board, bonuses based on years of service, and a special 401k match. All told, $1 million. Most of these workers have never experienced this kind of generosity.
Just wonderful to work for a great company, you know, especially in these times with everything that's going on. It was very unexpected.
It's awesome. I've never worked anywhere that had so much love and care for their employees as Rackley does. It's awesome. It's amazing, really.
Thank you for calling Rackley Roofing, Artie Herbert. This is Brandy. How can I make you smile?
Brandy Connor is the talkative receptionist at Rackley, but this leaves her at a loss.
I don't know the words. I wish I could just give you my heart and tell you, because it touches me in more ways than one.
In many ways, this goes back to Rackley president Curtis Sutton.
I wouldn't have anything in life if it wasn't for teams.
Sutton started as a roofing laborer out of high school at $4.30 an hour. He climbed to the top, but he's never forgotten where he started and how it felt to be valued.
The thing for us is we have core value of humble, and one of the reasons that I strongly believed in humble is because I never wanted to forget where I came from. And when you have core values, you got to live by them.
Of course, they didn't have to give a triple raise. Anything would have been appreciated, but that wasn't the point. This was a really tough year, and it would take something big to erase it.
You know, when we do things big, so we don't do things in small chunks. We make sure that they really know that we appreciate them.
Talk about something to be thankful for.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A unique Thanksgiving perspective tonight from a pastor who spent nearly 8 months trapped in India. He returned to a country deeply divided, of course, one he believes needs to wake up and see all of our blessings. Brian and Rhonda Naren never take a day together for granted. The Shelbyville pastor has been home 6 months now. Time enough to call it like he sees it.
Y'all seem to have messed it up quite a bit while I was gone. Everybody's angry, everybody's greedy, everybody's against each other.
A sobering perspective on America after being held hostage and extorted in India, he says, for being a Christian.
We're all here together on the earth. Why don't we get along with each other? Find the common things, smile.
He opened up to me about the dark moments. The Indian government initially threw him in prison, then kept him against his will for 7.5 months.
She said, "Are you a Christian?" I said, "Yeah." She spit on my feet, and she continued to do my health exam very angrily. In the first couple of nights, it would rain really hard, and the rats would jump up in the windowsills and on the beds so they wouldn't drown. The food was so bad that I literally couldn't swallow it.
The Indian government arrested Naren last fall and took the $40,000 he'd planned to give to underprivileged children in neighboring Nepal. It cost him twice that to break free.
$85,000 out of pocket. And there was extortion and blackmail and all of those things of darkness. The beautiful thing is that every time Rhonda went to the mailbox, there was another check from another stranger. 100% of all the money we needed to come home was paid.
It's why the Narens are sharing their story, doing their part to turn things around here at home.
We wanted to give back. We don't ask for money for it. If anybody that wants us to come to share our story, because You know, when we were in the thick of it, and it was horrible to have to go through, people stepped up and they helped us.
What we've been doing is to try and tell the story and give everybody reason for hope. Our story is pretty dark. I mean, my time was very difficult, and they were planning to keep me for years.
How many years?
The first charges was 3 to 5 years. The last charge was 7 years in prison for being a Christian, practicing Christianity in India.
Miraculously, the Narons are back together this Thanksgiving.
For me, it's one of the best feelings ever.
And in a country they believe will come back together too.
The troubles and the problems that's going on in America, they'll pass. And our very worst days is better than the best days of almost everybody else on earth.
Pastor Naron had been doing mission work in that region for nearly 20 years, going through all the proper legal channels. In fact, he had a government contract in Nepal to help the underprivileged children.
In the path forward tonight, a respected mid-state surgeon and former U.S. Senate Majority Leader adding his voice to those who are calling for a statewide mask mandate. Now, this comes as some are still planning to gather with friends and family over the holidays despite the COVID-19 risk. Fox 17 News' Rachel Teedy live downtown at the Capitol tonight with Dr. Bill Frist's advice for Governor Bill Lee.
Former Tennessee U.S. Senator Bill Frist says that things need to change when it comes to a statewide mask mandate. He wrote an article published by Forbes saying that we're on the precipice of what could be a long, dark winter if changes aren't made. With 92 additional COVID-19 deaths reported across the state today, a new high, and people still planning on gathering for the holidays, doctors are urging Governor Lee to issue a statewide mask mandate.
We are entering into a phase of scary, skyrocketing COVID case counts.
Dr. Amy Gordon Bono is echoing former Tennessee U.S. Senator Bill Frist. He wrote an article this week saying, quote, "With our worsening trends so apparent, I urge my governor, Bill Lee, and governors nationwide to implement a statewide mask mandate." He says that's the best option until we have a vaccine and a stronger arsenal of FDA-approved COVID-19 treatments. I reached out to Senator Frist today for an interview. No luck there. I also reached out to the governor's office to see if they had a response to Senator Frist's comments. No luck there either. But the governor has said repeatedly that he feels masks are important, but it should be up to individual counties to make the mandate call.
Masks and mask mandates are two different things. Masks are an incredibly important component of mitigating the spread of the virus.
But Dr. Bono says county by county mandates aren't working.
It's not working. We've seen our rural counties without mask mandates have skyrocketing cases and within their bounds.
As the number of cases continues to rise across the state, both Dr. Bono and Dr. Frist say something needs to change. Dr. Frist writing, quote, "To some, a mask mandate and limits on gatherings seem like a slippery slope to shutting down businesses again, but it is not." He says these are the, quote, "absolute best steps we can take to get back to normal."
Governor Lee, your state is in critical condition. We need you to change strategies now.
In his article, Dr. Frist referenced a study in the journal Nature, and it said that if 95% of people wore a mask out in public all the time, it could save almost 130,000 lives through the end of February.